welcome, Matt. Nice to get you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Big one, this one. Opening of season 2 as well, so first episode. So good to have you on here, mate.
Cheers, pal. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
We got a new host as well.
Oh yeah, especially Key Phil.
Yeah, looking forward to this, to be honest. A lot of people taking a bit of an interest, especially with this one, you know what I mean? My relationship with you.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to it.
Great player, great international career. Played for some great clubs. So it's good to have you on here, mate, to talk about your career and any little stories what no one else knows about. But we'll get onto them soon, Matt.
Yeah.
So I know that you started at grassroots football, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I started probably when I was about 8, and I was only there for my Unicorn. It was called a team called Unicorn, and basically I was there for maybe 6 months to a year, and I got scouted for a couple of teams, but I ended up going to Crewe Alexandra and did a trial there and ended up getting signed by James Collins and Neil Critchley, who are still managing and coaching now. So yeah, I love my time at Crewe. It was one of the best experiences I've had going through that academy. Some great coaches, some great people. So yeah, I loved it.
What age was that when you went Crewe?
I was at Crewe from the age of 10. So I signed when I was 10 and I left there when I was 18. So 8 years. But yeah, it's a fantastic academy. Like the people there are just brilliant. Like I say, we had the likes of Steve Holland was the coach there. Terry McPhillips. I think he went on to manage, he was at Blackpool, if I get that right.
He managed Blackpool, then he was assistant manager for a while.
Yeah.
He's brilliant, Terry.
Brilliant, yeah. And then we had like Neil Critchley, James Collins, who's the 23s manager at Wolves. I think he took over for a game as the first team manager not long ago. And like Dario Gradi, amazing people who really helped me during my career. So yeah, I loved it.
Why is it so good, Crewe? And bring you through it's still a brilliant model. I've always looked at Crewe and thought, if Crewe can do it with limited resources, every club should be able to do it. But everybody's obsessed with these massive academies. But for me, Crewe is still one of the most successful. Why?
I think it's just the way they had great coaches, like I said, but then they looked after the players really well and they gave them a chance in the first team. Very similar to like Rochdale.
There's a pathway through, isn't there? Clear pathway.
Yeah. You knew once you got to 18 or you ended your scholarship that you were going to have a chance. They weren't afraid to throw you in and give you an opportunity. And that was the main pull. If you go to Manchester United or City, you're probably leaving at 18 and you're going to have to find another club like a League 2, League 1 club or Championship, whatever it may be. You're starting again. I think you felt comfortable at Crewe. You knew your pathway. And that's why I kind of settled there and settled really well.
When you were at Crewe, did you have any lads in there in your like squad who you was with there who's kind of gone a bit higher in the leagues?
Yeah, so in my age group, Ben Marshall, who had a great career, he ended a little bit early. I think did he come to you at Bolton for a little bit on trial?
For one day.
We were talking about that.
We were having
he had a brilliant career. He's a really
what
good
a player that was.
Yeah, amazing football player.
What was he like? What was it like him to be around him?
He was brilliant. I got along really well with Ben. Like my mum and dad were close to his mum and dad. But he was a character for sure. But I think it was sad to see him retire so young. I think it was like 29, 28 maybe when he came.
I think he just got fed up with football. He stopped loving it, didn't he? You know, the game. It used to be a game that we all loved playing.
Yeah.
You know, when it becomes too professional.
Yeah.
And the character that he is as a person, I don't think that that he didn't have that balance when he was coming in every day training and enjoying himself.
Yeah, but what a brilliant guy. And yeah, it's players like him. There was Luke Murphy, who went on to play for Leeds. He had a great career. Ashley Westwood, who's still playing out in Charlotte FC in America. He played for Villa in the Premier League a lot.
Luke played for Bolton as well, didn't he? Murphy.
Yeah. So yeah, we had some really good players. Shay Dunkley, he's still playing. I think he's at Chesterfield now. It was just, we had some great players. And then a few years below, we had like Nick Powell and players like that. So it's like I say, you always knew you were going to get good standard of quality players around you and stuff like that. So I loved it.
Well, what I like about Crewe, I think Crewe, they make you EFL ready. They make you ready for playing in the EFL, whether it's League One or League Two. And then I've always looked at Crewe's players, the young players that come through the system. They're constantly hitting 100 league games, and then they become saleable assets. If not saleable assets, they become almost like a lifetime career, like Crewe player, don't they?
I think what they do, they get the youngsters in, and then they get 3 or 4 senior players that are mould around them younger players. And that's you see that now today. They've always got like that core, say it's a centre half, a centre midfield player who's going to help those young players. And I think that's important when you bring in that amount of young players into a team.
Just the experience in it, the older heads, bringing all the younger lads in there, they'll get the mentor to look at.
Yeah, and I think they've just got the model right there. And I think that's anybody who ever asked me about Crewe. I know my kids have been down there to train and stuff, and it's still the same. They're trying to do it the same way, and they always produce players. So it's somewhere where I can never say a bad word about.
Just going to an academy day, like back to the academy days, and what does a training week look like? Is it once, twice a week, or does that change from when you're 10 to you're 16? Like going back to the way you're saying Crewe's academy is successful.
Change. So nowadays, kids are training 4 or 5 times a week. I was training, I think, a Tuesday and a Thursday and played on a Sunday or Saturday. So I was only training twice a week. And that now is not a lot. Like a lot of kids are playing a lot more football. But no, it was just quite. I had a lot of work on with school and stuff like that. So you only did do like twice a week, and then you game on a Saturday.
And you were travelling. Where were you travelling from?
Travelling from Manchester.
How long was that
So
take then?
Probably take an hour. My dad used to do finish his work, and then he would take us straight from school. So it was quite a lot to take on for my dad after work. So I've always appreciated for what he did for me on that in that sense.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, when you were at school, did you be able to? The school let you leave like during the day to go and train? Because some schools, or some clubs, will you need like a day release at school to go and train. Was that what it was like?
I never did. I never really did that. No, I didn't have to do that. I know other clubs were doing it, but something that I never really did. Mum and Dad were quite focused on me doing well at school and concentrating on that. But yeah, it was never really something that Crewe. I don't think they do that particularly. Anyway, maybe the bigger clubs do. But Crewe really,
I know City did it. One of my mate's brothers played at City, and he had to have a day release at school. And he went like on a Tuesday, for example, and he let him go at dinner time to train.
Well, they had digs though, didn't they? Or they used to like City and that. Would you have that back at?
So I went into digs. You have to do when you first signed. I had to go into digs, so I went into a place called Haslington in Crewe.
Was that as an apprenticeship?
As an apprentice, that was an apprentice. So 16, I was in there, and that was a big change going into somebody else's home.
In education then as well?
Yeah,
like,
and you're still doing
college or...
Yeah, your scholarship at Reed College I did. But yeah, it was a great experience, a scholarship. It's completely changed from leaving school and going into something like that.
They don't really do them anymore, do they? Or do they?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure they probably do, but not to that.
Not in the way that an apprenticeship was a proper apprenticeship. There was initiations. There was a big difference from being an apprentice and a first team player. Quite often the apprentices, you had to be really, really respectful in that first team dressing room. And, it's totally different now.
Totally
it's like the boot cleaning. I don't think they do that anymore, do they? Whereas back in the day, it was a big thing.
When I was at Crewe, we had to do all that cleaning. We were cleaning stands, we were cleaning the balls, we were cleaning. I remember we had a goalkeeping coach when he'd just come in, Gudjon Thordarson. He used to be an Icelandic manager. And he had this goalkeeping coach, and we were just scholars at the time, and we just finished training. And I remember him picking up the balls and just volleying the balls over the back of the fence for us scholars to go and get. And I remember thinking, like, that was the old school way of kind of doing it. Everyone had to do their jobs, and we had to go and cut the balls, and they just boot the balls away while you're getting them back. And that was just the way we kind of get brought up.
Trying to toughen you up.
Toughen up a little bit, yeah.
So where did you go from there? Where did you go then?
So it was a strange one leaving there, because what happened was, like I said about that manager came in, he wasn't your typical Crewe manager. So usually it would have been a Steve Holland or somebody who'd come up through the ranks of Crewe and take over the manager's job. And for the first time, they brought in somebody who was not part of the club. And I just finished my scholarship, and they'd offered me professional terms. And Dario was still there at the time, but he was kind of just overlooking the football club. And what happened was I spoke to Steve Holland, who was at Stoke at the time, and I said, I'm not happy with what I see as a pathway anymore to the first team and Crewe. And he said, we would love to take you at Stoke. And I ended up signing for Stoke rather than Crewe. But Crewe, before I left, offered me a 5-year deal to stay. Dario had me at his house and said, we'll keep you 5 years, his 5-year deal. And I was like, I'll take it. But yeah, it was just one of them moments where I thought I need to make a decision. Do I go to a Premier League setup, better facilities, maybe better coaching, and find my way that way? And that's the route I ended up taking to Stoke at the time. But yeah, it was a big change going from Crewe to Stoke, even though it wasn't far in distance. It was completely different to the likes of Crewe.
Is this the Holland who was in the England set who's gone Man United now?
Yeah.
What's he like as a coach? Because there's a load of noise about him at the minute about going over to United.
And also United fan, aren't you?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on him being there now? You kind of worked with him in the past and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know many people who say a bad word about Steve as a coach.
He's tried to be a manager previously, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's tried to be a manager.
He went abroad, didn't he? He went abroad.
Like,
Amazing coach.
His knowledge is frightening. There's no question about that. He's been brought up the Crewe way. There's no question about that. The FA way, brilliant, superb.
Yeah.
But it never quite happened for him as a manager, did it?
No, I think he had a stint with Crewe.
Yeah.
And he had a tough time there. He ended up getting sacked. And then he took over as a manager after he left Gareth Southgate and went to Japan.
Yeah, he went abroad, yeah.
And he got sacked from there after a few months. So, yeah, I can't say a bad word about Steve. Is the way he treated me as a kid, gave me so much confidence. And, yeah, it's the way it's detailed in his sessions, and the way he treated people was second to none.
Well, the problem I see at United at the minute with the appointment, you've got Carrick, you've got Holland, you've got Evans and Woodgate, right? Mm-hmm. For me, that's 4 coaches. Mm-hmm. 4 coaches. They need a manager. You know, a big club like Manchester United, it's like Real Madrid for me. You know, 90% of what they have to do is manage those players, 10% coaching. Mm-hmm. Well, they've got 4 staff to do that 10%. Who's going to do the 90%?
Well, they've got Carrick, haven't they, and they're going off, obviously, his experience at Middlesbrough. And
it's a big
jump from Middlesbrough, isn't it? Massive.
Yeah. You know, and I think Manchester United, like, they're still looking for this head coach, sort of like the process coach, you know, and I'm not too sure whether, you know, the players are going to accept that, you know, and I think Cameron, before he left, he insisted that he was the manager.
Yeah.
But I do agree, like, with respect to Holland being a great coach, and the rest of them probably good men in their own right, good coaches, know the game, knowledgeable. Yeah. But who's going to manage them?
I think, like you say, when you get good coaches, people probably don't see that because it's not in front of it on the training pitch. No. They're brilliant, like Steve Holland. Yeah. But like when you talk about a manager, they probably need somebody who's going to be the face of it and going to be, like you said, Alex Ferguson. Like, people knew he was the manager. They need probably somebody in that sense who's going to face up to it rather than coach.
I think they'll go and get the England manager. I think he'll do World Cup. Yeah, I think he'll come over. Yeah. Or they're looking at Ancelotti, as I mentioned, that Luis Enrique as well, big leaders. Yeah. That's who they want, someone who's a big calibre like that.
It's the presence, especially at a club like United. That's
but you don't think Manchester United are almost going like with the Chelsea model? You know, they've got an hierarchy now, haven't you, who decide what goes on, and they're always looking for this head coach. Yeah. I don't think head coach suits Manchester United.
That's the way football's going, though, isn't it? The bigger clubs are all
is it though?
Slowly
everyone's saying it's going that way. Arsenal aren't going that way. Man City aren't really going that way, are they?
They might just be doing it right, and they are.
Aston Villa aren't going that way. You know, but like, there's this pyramid now, and, you know, within football, but everybody's doing the same thing, aren't they?
Yeah, no, it's so true. I think it's hard to find them coaches now. I think they say it's a little bit old school. I mean, when you were at Rochdale...
Is it old school or the right school?
I say old school, but it is like when you were at Rochdale, everyone knew you were the manager. Yeah. You had coaches alongside you, but it's kind of... It's a hard one to explain, but when you're a footballer, you... Like, I say, Keith, like, we always kind of... we were a bit intimidated, a bit scared of Keith, and that's what we were. I don't feel like now some managers, some players go into change, they're not that worried about the manager or what they think or what they're going to do.
Managers, they don't have any control on it.
They don't have any control because they know.
Half the time they've not recruited some of them players as well.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fear though, is it? Like, let's be right here. I'm not trying to get another job, right? But I've got no chance of going to insist.
No.
Everyone's scared.
No. It's nothing to do with it. But I think it's good players need that fear, and if you don't have that fear,
I think,
as players, what are you going out on the pitch?
Listen, we used to go out and have some great times, didn't we, one day?
Don't know that.
Do you know, like with managers controlling the club, I was listening to TalkSport literally the other morning, and they said at Chelsea, the physio was making the substitution at 60 minutes, telling the manager he has to come off at 60 minutes because we know his body. But then the managers, he can't do anything because it's coming from the top into the physio. He has to make the change. He's not got any control of his players. Hence why I think he's left the manager.
Well, I think as well, like with respect to like team selection,
yeah,
you can look at it and almost at the end of every week or 2 days prior to the match, it looks like the medical team are presenting the manager with a list of players that they can choose from. And the times, you see like 5 substitutions now. There's not many players really getting 90-minute games.
it's true, yeah.
Well, if you were playing the football pitch and you turned to me in a game and you went, "Are you okay to carry on?" Like, you're going to say, "Yeah, I'm all right to carry on."
You don't want to come off, do you?
No. So if you're giving somebody 60 minutes and telling them they have to get off, I feel okay as a player, and the manager wants to keep me on the pitch, then sometimes you've got to make them decisions yourself.
There's a reason why you select starting 11, and you want to try and continue as long as you can during that game to trust that starting 11 to get the result that you need. And too often now there's too many changes, too many substitutions, but we don't know the reasons because it's the manager who has to explain away after the game instead of the medical team, instead of the referee, etc., etc. We don't get enough interviews from referees, from sports science.
Sports science, yeah.
That's the big one, isn't it?
Personal coaches.
Yeah. Do you think there's too much say now with what people are?
Listen, if you came and had a meeting with you as a manager, right, it was between me and you.
Yeah.
But now when you come into my office, you come in with your sports scientist, your diet nutritionist, your personal coach.
Yeah.
You'll have a stat pack.
Yeah.
Telling me as a manager what you can do and can't do.
Yeah.
But straight after the game, you want to feel like, say for example, we lose a game.
Yeah.
Straight away, you're going over to the sports scientist. Can I have a look at my data? Can I have a look at my pass completion? Can I have a look at my regains?
Yeah.
Justifying, if a manager has anything, I suppose critical to say about your performance, you can back it up now with stats, can't you?
Yeah. That's what managers are doing now. I remember going into to see a manager and they've already got it written down, the stats of the game, or if they know a player's coming in, I'll have it all written down so that all the stats are there for them. Say, well, you've not done this, you ran this, and the other player ran this, and I mean, it becomes a bit of a.
Sometimes, listen, I still believe as well, Lundy, and I don't think it'll ever go away. You've got to trust your eyes, you've got to trust your instincts sometimes, And I remember distinctly, like I asked Brian Barry Murphy and Chris Beats to go and have a meeting with Ollie Lancashire, a player that we recruited. He was our captain in our promotion season. And they said, well, what do you want us to ask him? I said, I don't really want you to ask him anything. I'm going to sign him anyway. Well, just tell me whether he walks like a football player or not. He said, you what? I said, yeah, I just want to know whether he walks like a football player. And I was on holiday at the time, actually, in Cyprus, and I got a phone call. He walks like a football player.
He walks like a footballer.
Well, you know, don't you? You know, confidence.
Right.
Has he got a presence? Is he walking with his shoulders over?
It's the posture,
for me,
it's the way they hold themselves.
Well, this is like, because when I
you walked in like it, and I was like, I could tell.
Really? Well,
you could, just start looking at you. Yeah.
Here's the story for it. So I get a phone call saying, "Oh, you come meet me and we'll have a conversation about signing for Rochdale." I just left Stoke, and
conversation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I got begged.
Yeah, by the old age. Yeah. And, anyway, I pulled into the car park. I had a nice car at the time. Just kind of been at Stoke, and I thought I'll just park the car around the corner.
So technically, Premier League football had a bit.
Yeah, but there was good deals on this car at the time.
Mercedes C63.
Right, okay, yeah. C63. So I pulled into the car park and I thought, right, where do I put this car? It's quite noisy as well. So I pulled it like probably 100 yards away from where the actual door was. Anyway, I've gone in to see him, and he goes, without even saying like hello or anything, he goes, "What are you driving?" And I go, "Oh, my car's just a Mercedes." And he goes, "No, let me go and see it." And I was like, "Okay." So I had to walk to the car with him. He sees the car and he goes, "Get in." And I think he's gonna make me take him for a drive or something.
And you'd never met him before?
No, I've never met him before. Sit in the car, and like the door's kind of open because I didn't really want to shut it because I didn't want to take him anywhere. And he stood at my door, holding the door, and I look up at him, and he goes, "Just rev the engine for me." So I'm going. I've got my foot on and then just tapping. He's going, "No, give it some." Anyway, he gets me out of the car and then he goes, and we're going out on a meeting. But I was like, "Oh my God,
it's a beautiful car.
Who am I signing for?"
It's one of my favourite cars. There's no question
How
about
did you know
that.
I had a car like a nice car?
I heard it as it came into the car park from the office.
That's why he was on
I
his
had a
feet.
little
He's
look
like,
out the window, noticed that he got a 6-3. So, I just thought, wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful block.
that's great.
I remember ringing my agent on the way back and going, "Guy's crazy."
So how old were you at that? Would you have been then? So you just left Stoke?
21.
You were at Stoke for 3 years, were you then? 2 years?
3 years, yeah.
3 years.
Yeah.
Good player. It was the right time for me to pick him up. Talented player. Could play the number 8 role, in old, the old school numbers. You're a box-to-box midfield player. I couldn't really play in the set position, could I?
No.
You were brilliant at ghosting into the box. You should have scored more goals than you did. I think we got promoted that first season, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had a really good squad of players, and myself as a coach, you think fucking hell, I must be a good coach for getting all this success. When really, you're just a good recruiter. Everybody, I think most ex-football players, they can be good coaches. Everybody can do skills and drills.
Yeah.
You have to be a good manager of people. Recruitment's
That's
key.
the thing, isn't it?
You recruit good players, you've got a chance, a real good chance. And we put a decent jigsaw together and we got promoted that first season, didn't we?
Yeah, I think you were being a bit harsh on yourself. I thought, yes, you recruited well. We did have some really good players that year. I think we got, obviously, with Scott Hogan was probably the key, having him. But when I came to the football club, I was probably, I would say I was ready for first team football. I think I was at that stage where I thought I need to knuckle down here, leaving a Premier League team, and thought I need to kind of have somebody who's going to really put me in my place. I didn't expect it to be as brutal as it was sometimes with Keith, but it was, I needed that. I needed somebody like him, and I think I wouldn't have had the career I had if I didn't have somebody like him at that stage who was kind of going to push me in ways that I didn't think I could.
Well, if you go back to what you said previously, though, about the balance, right? So we had the balance, I think, we were bringing players like you in, and I could be critical, I could challenge you, because they had the likes of Brian Barry Murphy, Peter Kavanagh, Ollie Lancashire, Ashley Easton, for example.
It was good having a good mixture. The staff was a good mixture with Beachy and
Tony Ellis,
and the likes of Brian as well, because they were kind of a little bit more mellowed out than Keith was at times. So we had quite a good mix of staff, so it worked really well that year, definitely. So, and to get promoted in our first season was incredible.
What league was that then?
We were in League Two.
League Two, so it was promotion to League One.
Promotion to League One. But like I say,
promotion via first, second playoffs.
Well, we actually finished third, didn't we, Lundy?
We did.
Are you going to explain why, Lundy?
I'll explain why, but it wouldn't have made much difference. But yeah.
What do you mean? We're 1-0 up, right? Away, last game of the season. Newport away. We're winning 1-0. They've had a player sent off for a penalty.
This shirt from that first season, I was going to ask that. Yeah.
So they've had a player sent off. We get a penalty. We're 1-0 up. We're top of the league.
I passed the ball to Hendo to win the penalty.
Did we end up being top of the league at that point when we were 1-0 up? We were top of the league, Top of the league, So explain. I still haven't had an explanation as to what happened. Why Endo didn't take the penalty? Who was our penalty taker? But you stepped up and took the penalty.
So I was on 9 goals, and your assistant manager, Chris Beach, was on to me all season saying, "You'll never score 10 goals. You'll never score 10 goals." And he was doing it in a way because he knew he could push me a little bit. And I was on 9, and I was dying for this 10th goal. And I played Hendo through for the penalty. Gets brought down. And I said, Hendo, please let me have this penalty. I need to score this penalty. I need my 10 goals. there was no money or anything. Like, it wasn't like if I get 10 goals, I'll get like a bonus. Or something. It was more, I wanted the 10 goals. I wanted to prove to him that I got 10 goals. I think I deserved the 10 goals. And yeah, I ended up missing the penalty. It was a terrible penalty.
And we got beat 2-1.
We got beat, yeah.
We ended up finishing third.
Yeah.
That night or after further fixtures? After
That was the last fixture of the season.
I actually cried after that. Yeah,
you did?
We got promoted and I was crying because I missed the penalty. He's crying.
So you cried in this shirt right here?
I cried in that shirt. Yeah, in that shirt. I wasn't happy with myself. But yeah, it was great to get promoted.
Yeah, you denied me a massive bonus.
I'm sorry about
that, yeah. For winning the title.
Bit of transfer funds in there.
Would have looked good on CV, that as well, wouldn't it?
Sorry?
Would have looked good on the CV, that as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know, like, from going from Stoke, from a Premier League team, coming up down to Rochdale, say, going from Tony Pulis to Keith, what was difference? What was that in between that? What was the difference between them both? Being a Premiership club and coming into Rochdale?
I think the obvious thing is the facilities.
Yeah.
And being at a Premier League club, you've literally got everything. You go, your chef, you get your food and everything. I was going to that to a microwave or something like that. So it was a complete change in that sense, which I say I wasn't used to. I was, because I'd been on a couple of loans.
Well, you go from fully inclusive to self-catering, aren't you?
Yeah.
If we're going to put it into, like, Jet 2 terms.
Yeah. And
Sponsorship there.
Team-wise,
It's all right, bring your jumbles, pal.
training was completely different at Stoke. Obviously, I was with the first team, but under Tony Pulis, it was more shape, working on set pieces, the odd shooting set, the odd possession session. It wasn't anything too detailed. It was very kind of basic, and it worked. It worked really well for Stoke, and he did a great job there. And it was completely different coming to Rochdale and having you're being one of the main players. You want to be kind of, you're the one getting coached. You're the one in the 11 that it's relying on you on the Saturday and for your position. And it was completely different in that sense.
So, like, in that Stoke, when you was at Stoke, you had the likes of, like, Rory Delap, an experienced player in there, and did you have Fuller in there as well at that time?
Oh, yeah.
And Sorensen and that. You had quite a decent squad there as well. Yeah. Did you have Ollie Shenton there as well? Shents, was he with you?
I don't know his name. I think he was a little bit younger than me, maybe.
Shenton, yeah. But, like, the likes of the players you had in that squad.
Who else would have been in that squad then?
Yeah.
So what happened? So in the squad there was kind of the likes of Ryan Shawcross. When I was leaving, there was
Hoof in there as well.
Robert Hoof, great guy. Yeah, really.
Everington as well.
Everington, brilliant.
He's another great player. Yeah,
really good player. Jermaine Pennant.
Was he on Tagler then?
David Johnson was there at one stage, and he was phenomenal. Like, I think he'd just come from Monaco, and he ended up signing for Stoke. It didn't really work out for him, but Peter Crouch was there.
Was he there then? Yeah.
So yeah, they really
good players there,
some great
like,
players at
good
the time,
careers.
Yeah, really good. Some top Premier League players.
Got Begovic as well, like goalkeeper. Masmi was he there? Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
Tunchai.
Yeah.
What was he like? What's he like?
He was a strange guy. I remember he used to have his own driver bring him into training in his Rolls Royce, and yeah, he used to. I remember just training with him one day. We used to do 1v1s. And you'd literally touch him and he would just fall, like, he was so, not weak, but he'd just fall over every time you touched him. He was very but he'd win fouls, so many free kicks and stuff. He was a very technical player, but yeah, he's an interesting character. Like,
well, like Hoof, what's it like training with him? Let's go Scowcroft as well, what are they like?
Yeah, they're huge. I think if you're under 6'3", then you weren't really allowed around the first team, but yeah, it was having players like that was incredible.
Do you know when they doing when you were there, the throwing routine what they did with Rory Delap? What was that like? How did he set out Pulis for that?
I would be on the 11 that wasn't starting, so we'd have a lot of the younger lads come over from the 18s, and then the rest of the team who weren't playing. And we used to have to defend these throw-ins. And I don't know if you've been to Stoke's training ground, it's very open. And the wind, honestly, he used to throw the ball so hard, and you'd have to go, and you'd be challenged against Cameron Jones and Ryan Shaw.
Great player.
Trying to win headers against it. It's impossible to defend against.
Up there with Faye as well.
Abdullah Faye, players like that.
He's a great player, him.
You just couldn't defend it, so you can see why teams really struggled with those set pieces. I just didn't enjoy them days when we had to defend them set pieces.
So Rochdale, back then, how long were you there?
initially. So I had 2 stints at Rochdale. I was there for
4 seasons
4
for me,
seasons.
wasn't you?
4
120
seasons.
games, I think, 20 goals.
And then the second time, it was a year and a half under Brian.
Was you there then?
No, I wasn't.
Or was he not there then? No.
Brian Murphy was the manager when I went back the second time.
Sorry, did you say 120 games, 20 goals?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, he was a good player for me, but then he decided he wanted to leave. You know, and...
Why did you want to leave?
Well, he wanted to test himself, I think.
It was funny because I was watching the podcast when you did with Keith, right? this is the truth, right? And I was watching it, and I was thinking, he's going to say my name at some point. He mentioned the 3rd choice goalkeeper, and I'm thinking, he's not mentioned my name once. He's mentioned every other player. Lads who had played like maybe 5 games. This is what annoyed me about it, and I was thinking, why is he not? But this is what he was like with me. He never really wanted to compliment me. He never really wanted to say anything nice. So, like I was saying to you about the reference thing, I was worried when I asked you for a reference. I thought I was going to get some.
Like I said, I was really, really upset when you left us. Yeah. Really upset, you know. And but I knew it was your natural progression to play higher. You know, and you took the opportunity, which was brilliant. And that's why I offered you a shit contract.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I remember having to call you up and say, listen, I'm off. I had the chance to go to the championship, and that's something that I'd spoke to you about and said I wanted to do, and you were never going to stand.
Oh, you deserved it, 100%.
Yeah, you were never going to stand in my way, and like you say, you did. I think you offered me that deal just because you knew I wasn't going to sign it. But yeah, it was hard leaving Rochdale that time because I really enjoyed my time. It was an incredible few years. Had a few injuries along the way, but. Yeah, I loved it.
Did you did you sign for Nigel Clough at Burton?
I signed for Nigel, yeah. That was in
from
what's
Rochdale,
that like?
Yeah.
From Rochdale, yeah. So I'd signed.
By the way, he's brilliant, isn't he?
No.
Nigel Clough. No,
what?
Do you not like him?
We didn't get along.
Oh, wow.
Why? What's the issue though with that?
Like I've seen him obviously since. I've scored quite a few goals against Mansfield, his teams over the past few years.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed scoring goals against them. Just because
Proper give it in the
I thought
celebration.
it
That.
I'm a bit of that
I
Clough.
thought we would have got along. I mean, I've seen him since, and we say hello or whatever, but we just didn't get along. I think it might have just been. I don't know. I just never really. I don't think he bought into me, and I didn't really buy into what he was doing, and it just didn't really work out. But yeah, he was just had strange methods that I didn't really kind of enjoy doing, and yeah, he was just a bit crazy.
Did he not have a big ego in because of his dad?
No, I just think that's just the way he was. I just think he was just very in his own way, and if you annoyed him, I remember one time we'd fell out a few times before this incident, but he left me out of a squad, and he said, "You're not on the bench." He used to come into change rooms, put the team sheet up, so you never knew the team, and then you put it up, and then obviously the team would go over and have a look at the team, and I wasn't involved. And I was fuming. I was like, why? I think I played the week before and I wasn't involved at all. And nobody didn't even speak to me. So I thought, right, I'm leaving. I got in my car. And I never did really do this. And I got in my car and I drove home. Burton to Manchester is quite a bit of a distance. And I got probably an hour and a half down the road. And I was quite close to home. And my phone goes. And it's Nigel Clough on the thing. And he goes, "Where are you?" And I went, "Nearly home." I was like, shit. And he goes, "Get back here, you're on the bench, one of the players has gone down injured in the warm-up." I said, "I can't, I've just got home." And then he put the phone down, and then on the Monday, we just didn't really speak, and it was just kind of like left at that. But we just never seemed eye to eye. I didn't like the fact he didn't speak to you if you were left out, or it was just kind of...
Bit arrogance about him, yeah.
Yeah, I thought we would have got along, but we just didn't work out.
Interesting. When you were down at Burton and you had Bywater in goal, what was he like as an individual person?
He was a great guy, yeah. I mean, I've heard lots of stories about him, and pretty much all of them I've seen firsthand. They're probably true. I just know one story about him where he... I remember getting in his car once and we were driving to somewhere and I'm sat in the back. I think I had Luke Murphy in the front and he was driving and... going through the kind of side pockets there, I picked something out and there was a tin of beans. So I put that one side, there was something else in there. It was like a packet of corned beef. And I goes, "Stevie, what's this, mate?" And he goes, "Monday, you'll never know when you might break down." And I'm thinking, Like, what are you going to do with some baked beans? And like, where are you going to break down? Like, he was just, honestly, some of the stories I've heard about him, obviously you've seen them on podcasts and stuff, but yeah, he was a great character.
What was he like in training though?
Crazy. Yeah. I remember once, I think the year before I got there, I remember seeing a video of him. They played Sheffield Wednesday away, and there was a fight kicked off between all the players in like the corner flag, and he's just like ran over, and he's just gone like flying in to like find kick somebody. I remember seeing the video, and the lads was telling us a story about him just like losing, you just lose his mind, like just doing stuff like that, like.
And he said he's a crazy one. He said he's a crazy individual. He always said all the keepers are the worst, like the nuts to play in goal.
Yeah, I've not met many normal keepers, to be honest with you. Probably Lils is probably the most normal I've met.
Yeah, to be honest, they're all crazy, aren't they? That's why they're their own like goalkeeping coach, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even the keepers say that, don't they? Like they call themselves a
They've got to
special
have a
breeders type,
personality.
and
You want a goalkeeper with a personality.
Yeah.
They've got to have. Because that is a real position of like responsibility, and if they make a mistake, it's arguably going to be a goal for the opposition.
Yeah.
So you've got to be brave, you've got to be a bit stupid, a bit mad. You know, especially in modern day now, they're virtually an outfield defender, aren't they?
Yeah.
They don't spend hardly any time in their own penalty box these days.
Well, it's slowly changing back though, isn't it? The long ball's creeping back in as
Do you
people
think
have been.
so? From the goalkeeper?
Depends which goalkeeper, I suppose, isn't it? But it's back there, it's coming, and
What's it like? What was it like playing with Darren Bent? Because he seems like a proper character, that lad. Was he? Him and Sardell you had in there as well, didn't you?
Yeah, Darren Bent was there, but he wasn't. I think he was struggling with his injuries at the time. I remember he was training with us, but I didn't play that much with him. I think he'd come back. I think he'd left Derby at the time, and Nigel got him in to kind of train, but he wasn't quite ready. I don't think his knees were holding on. Marvin Sordell was there. He was a strange one because he didn't really. I don't think he enjoyed football that much. You know, he
you can
didn't really
see.
enjoy it. I don't think. And what he's doing now, I've seen stuff that he's doing, and he looks like he's enjoying himself. But yeah, I never thought he kind of really loved being a football player.
He had all the ability, though. I remember at Watford, he was good at Watford. He come over ball. I remember he played for a couple of times with ball, and I thought he was all right. I thought first play, but you had Beckford in there then, though, didn't you? And then Gog. You had challenge.
Yeah, he was a good player.
He signed for Burnley, did he? Marvin Sordell.
Possibly, yeah, possibly.
£4 million.
possibly when they
Yeah. I think it was, yeah.
Watford,
Burnley, Bolton.
Yeah, it was then, yeah. He did. He only went bowling, yeah.
And he played in the Olympics, the GB team.
He did, yeah. With gigs, yeah. I mean, he did. It's incredible that was a good team that one he had as well in there.
Yeah.
How many seasons did you spend Burton?
At Burton, I did the year in the Championship, and then we got relegated on the last day to Sunderland. But I'd spent the first 6 months, and then I went on loan to Bradford for the last 6 months. Really enjoyed that time there, and then I come back for pre-season, and I was actually really enjoying pre-season with them. And we were starting to get along a little bit more, and then by the last day of the transfer window, I thought, I just don't want it happening again. So I ended up handing in a transfer request on the last day. And then I ended up moving to Scunthorpe.
Right. So played United at Burton, didn't you?
Yes, played United at
That was
Burton,
in that first half of that season then.
Yeah.
So going back to that then, because that's where I was rooting to. Old Trafford?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was a dream come true for me. I'm a big Manchester United fan. And it was the place that I've always wanted to play as a kid. So to get that opportunity was amazing. But I didn't enjoy it. And it's strange to say because it's a dream come true to play Old Trafford. But
yeah, I can imagine.
like I say, with the way the manager was, he put the team sheet up and I looked at the team and I was thinking, why is my name over there on that right side? They just put me right wing back. Never played right wing back before in my life. Never played there. You can imagine what I'd probably be like a right wing back. Not really for me. And I played there a couple of times, like pre-season with him, but not right wing back. And he just changed the complete 11 and he'd gone, obviously it's the cup game, so he was more bothered about the league. So he changed the whole 11 and then I couldn't believe I was playing right wing back.
Did he not say anything to you, like you said, if he didn't speak to you on that day? Even
not like
no heads up on it, nothing?
No, just you playing there.
That's a shift, that, in at Old Trafford.
At Old Trafford.
As a right wing back. Yeah, I was going to say.
Lukaku was playing Matta. I think Matta was. I was thinking.
So what year is this?
I was being booked after 5 minutes because of Smash Martial.
2017.
What score was it
on that?
It
was 3-1. We were the first team to score at Old Trafford that up to that point. So we were
Who was the United manager?
Mourinho.
Under Mourinho, that's
2017.
mad.
Yeah.
What was Rashford like playing against him?
He's got a great goal in the game. Cut in off the left. I was nowhere near him. I was probably meant to be close to him. He shifted and just smashed it past that.
Once he goes past you, it should be central defenders responsible.
Yeah, it's their fault. Yeah, it wasn't.
Definitely pass it on.
Passed on. But yeah, he was brilliant. So fast. Like Martial as well. His feet.
It's good to see him doing well for Barca now, though, isn't it? Again,
He's a great player, Rashford.
Himself,
Great player. He's the best thing he ever did leaving United.
Yeah, he found his confidence. It looks like he's enjoying it, playing with a smile on your face. You know what it is. If you're a footballer and you're not enjoying it, it's.
And they're not about keeping him on. So I wonder with this change at United, is he going to come back? Will he play again for United?
I don't think he'll
know.
want to come back.
No, I don't.
I think
It's too much of a risk for him to kind of.
Yeah.
You,
I think
you wouldn't leave
he's already
Barcelona.
left United anyway.
I'm good about. I love Rashford, mate. I've got about that, mate. But
What's it like to play in front of
Football,
like
innit?
70,000 fans at Old Trafford, though?
It was amazing. Like it really was amazing. But yeah, it was some experience and something that obviously. I'm proud to say that I played there. And tell my boys that I played there and
showing pictures and
yeah,
YouTube highlights
yeah,
and
it's always nice stuff like that.
watch Rashford's goal. Yeah, there we are.
I did.
So, do you know, like, see playing in games like that, what's it just feel like? Like goosebumps, or just does it go quick, say, from the first to the 90th minutes, does it just fly by?
I don't know the United and City game, but the City game seemed to go on for 5 hours, like, because obviously the scoreline. But yeah, that game was, the United game was, it was strange just because I wasn't in my natural position, so I felt like I was...
Little pressure.
Yeah, I felt like it wasn't enjoyable to that sense. I could
Probably trying to think though a lot, aren't you? Like, are you in the right position now because you're not used to it, and that'll take away from the fun of it, I suppose, whilst you're still trying to focus as well. And
yeah.
Did you have Ashley Young playing then still?
yeah, he played in that game.
Was he in that squad at that?
Do you know what it was? It was Michael Carrick's last game for United.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
good in
of
that.
He played, obviously he's the manager now, it was his last game, yeah.
How did the whole Rashford shirt come around? Did he take yours?
Well, do you know what? My dad's my dad was a doctor, and the doctor at United now, he was friends with him, and he went into the change room and got it for me. So I actually had Herrera's at the time, but Tony ended up going and getting me the Rashford swap.
That's another one in it here. That's a massive one. That.
He was the main kind of man at the time.
Oh, what was his breakthrough season or the year after? I think
Probably,
it wasn't
yeah.
that kit. I think that was the second season.
Yeah, I think it was the second year after that.
Thinking
yeah.
of the kit. So yeah, he was. Like you say,
He was the main man.
like you say, we were talking about the size of it, weren't we? How small it was earlier, and
I know, I probably wouldn't fit into that now. would
put some muscle on that.
Yeah, I think so.
When you played against City, who was in that? Who was in that team for City?
Well, luckily Haaland was on the bench. Who did they have playing? They had Gundogan.
This last season
Doku played. This was last
at the
last year
Etihad.
At the Etihad,
Yeah.
Doku.
Watched it, mate, that game.
I remember.
Ake played. Who did they have? They had a
Foden.
young lad up front who was very good. Foden came on. Yeah, they had some top players. It was
Sort of checked you that.
Savino.
That result in the FA Cup sort of checked you in the league, didn't it? You know, after that cup game, you couldn't buy a win, could you?
Yeah, we really couldn't, but I don't think it was down to that game. I think it was more, you know what it's like when you draw a big team. You spent so much energy on thinking about that game, getting tickets sorted, the whole stuff that goes with a fixture like that. And I think you might have just drained the players a little bit. I don't know, but yeah, we really struggled for form after that last season. Yeah, so we just went on a really bad run.
So that's Salford, in it. So after the game and training the days after, did any of the owners come down, say anything, did they need to pick things back up around the place, or was it a case of just it
really,
gone and
left,
move on? City, what can you do?
Yeah,
Thing.
Carl kind of shut that down straight away, and he was just like, we're just concentrating on the league. But it wasn't. I mean, it's great for the club. The club obviously took a bit of money from it, and it's great for Salford to play against a local team as well. And I think they've drawn them again in the FA Cup though. If they get through the next round, I think they
play Swindon though, don't they?
But if they beat Swindon, they play City.
Swindon are good. I like Swindon.
Yeah.
Ian Holloway's gaffer though, isn't he?
Yeah, they've got a good side, a really good side. They play away though, don't they? Is it away or at home?
If they draw Swindon, it's Salford at home against Swindon, I think.
Oh,
and
okay.
then
Might be a bit more different though then.
City always get the easy draw.
Yeah.
What about Macclesfield Palace? That guy, he come out saying he didn't fancy it.
Did he say that?
He come out and said
Can't
this
imagine
pitch,
him
about the
saying that.
pitch.
I mean, he might have said it in a joking way. I don't know if it's probably been blown
It's
out.
been,
I think it was on the
twisted,
toss-up, and that the manager, the gaffer there, that Rooney, was saying that, yeah, he didn't fancy it. He didn't like the pitch. He said, so it's like especially from your captain,
So
he's always up for it, though, isn't
It
he?
was the captain. I had the captain on TalkSport, and he actually said, so his words were, Mike Gay, he said, it's not for me, that pitch.
Yeah, he
It's
don't
not a
fancy
bit of
it,
me,
yeah.
It's something along those
When
lines.
we played in the FA Cup, it was on AstroTurf. Was it thingy Maidstone? Was it Maidstone?
I think it was, yeah.
We played on AstroTurf and
Was that,
Last minute equaliser, didn't we?
was that guy there?
Calvin Andrew, I think.
Was it Calvin or it's Campsey?
Or maybe it was Campsey. Maybe it was Campsey. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, maybe it was Campsey. But yeah, I never really enjoyed playing matches on AstroTurf, and I understand that, but it could be in the passing.
Yeah,
I don't think it was very.
Or just made up like his name's in the headlines for saying it.
They couldn't deal with it though, could they? I watched the game.
They
and,
were terrible. They was terrible. I've never seen them play like that.
Yeah, misplaced passes, and they couldn't read the speed of the pitch either. You know, and I find that strange. Like, you know, is it Hills who plays as a centre half for Crystal Palace? He couldn't get it right in the air either.
Yeah,
When United lost to Grimsby early in the season, what's their pitch?
that's just not this grass.
Standard.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's,
Have you ever been to Grimsby?
don't think so.
I don't
no.
think I want to be fair, Keith.
But like they say, sometimes the big teams, they turn up at these smaller grounds just expecting to be a rollover, or they don't prepare for it properly during the day, whatever they do, and then the other team are more switched on than ever, aren't they? It's their biggest game of
Yeah, I think they can be surprised,
so
but normally, like, you can always surprise a big team like that for 20 minutes. There's a certain element of luck in it as well. So when you start the game, yeah, you can really surprise the Premier League opposition. And if you do get the advantage by scoring a goal or maybe two, then you've really got to ride your luck for a sustained period of time.
I think you had it in
sit deep, can't you? And just
when Rochdale
take
played Tottenham and you got a result at home, and then you go to the away. It's a complete. Like if we, I'm not saying we would have beat City last year playing City at Salford Stadium, but it gives you a more level playing field, and it really does. The pitch is smaller. The players aren't used to it. City players wouldn't have fancied it, and it can make games a lot tighter. And like I said, with that game, what was the score in the second?
6-2,
Yeah.
or 6-1, I'm not too sure. We
What's
won
that?
each at half time.
You Kane playing that?
Who's that?
Harry Kane playing that game?
Yeah, the thing is, like,
White Hart Lane?
because we drew 2 each at home, this
Yeah.
is my experience of it.
was you involved in this?
Pochettino, he wasn't insulted. He was insulted that they hadn't beat us in that first game, and it was still 1 each at half time at Wembley, because Tottenham were currently playing at Wembley. They were playing at Wembley at the time
Oh wow!
for the stadium development. And once he took the lead in the second half, and it went 2, 3, 4 very quickly, he then put he really wanted to rub salt into the wound. He didn't just want to beat us and comfortably go. He then put Harry Kane on, Dele Alli and Son. You know, I think Son started actually, but he really wanted to beat us comfortably.
Yeah.
And they went on and did it and and that was when I see Pochettino, ruthless, honestly.
Can you imagine? He's done well him as a manager, hasn't he?
He's a good man.
He's very good.
Question about that.
Probably be United soon.
You not share a drink with him after that game?
We did actually, yeah. You know, and again, they're talking about after the game when we're talking with managers and coaches, it's all inclusive. You know, straight after the game, they were doing the running, they was doing the strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
You know, they were staying at the stadium doing everything. And then they were back in the next day at 12 o'clock. So they were ruthless in, making sure that they had this collective, this all-inclusive mentality. You know, and as much as it is still, and it should be for me, an individual game, you want to see individual talent on display, but they've got to be part of the team unit.
Yeah, of course. So, Byrne, you say Scunthorpe?
Scunthorpe, yeah.
After that?
Yeah.
Or what we're looking at, 2018, 2019?
I'm good with not very good with
No, it was earning that. Definitely earned that. I think 16, 17, wasn't it?
Maybe, yeah. Yeah.
Well, 17, well, if we're saying that was 16, 17, then it will be at the end of that season then.
Yeah.
So handed the transfer request in what time on deadline day?
It would have been the morning or the evening, the night before.
So no issues getting that through, was there?
Well, it was more the sense that I'd said to them, I've got a club that's interested. I was obviously out on loan last year, you didn't want me. And I kind of said to him, he said, well, you've got to, he basically said, I want to keep you. which I thought was a bit strange. And he said the only way you can leave is you go to the chairman or you hand in a transfer request. So I had to hand in the transfer request to get a move. But yeah, it was just disappointing to leave on them terms. But to go to Scunthorpe was another change for me. It's a big distance from my home. But yeah, I enjoyed my time there as well.
How long did you spend there? Was that League Two?
A year and a half, maybe? A year and a half, yeah.
Was that League Two at that point?
No, we were League One.
League One.
And then we went to League Two. But they were really struggling financially, I think, around that time.
You had a really good opportunity in League One, didn't you, where you nearly got into like that automatic spot, didn't you?
So that was the
playoffs.
That was the year before I came. They had the likes of Dwayne Holmes, Ivan Toney was there.
Side.
And then they lost all them players. I think Connor Townsend went to West Brom. So they lost probably, and Murray Wallace, was it? The centre half?
Yeah.
Went to Millwall. So they lost 3 or 4 big players. And then the year I came, so obviously that happened in the summer, I think Ivan Toney was meant to sign back for us, and he ended up going to Peterborough. So that was a big kick in the teeth just before the season started. But yeah, like I said, I think we were 3rd highest budget in the league and we got relegated.
Did you get relegated to the last game of the season at Plymouth? Was that the one?
Yeah.
Was this the League One relegation?
Yeah, League One.
Is that when both teams got relegated?
Yeah, both got relegated, yeah. And it was the infamous moment where Josh Morris, when the keeper went down. So basically what happened was the keeper got injured and he caught the ball at the same time as getting injured. And he went to throw the ball off the pitch because he was obviously struggling. So everyone was kind of walking away. And as the ball's going off the side of the pitch, Josh Morris has run and got the ball. He was obviously gone down thinking the ball's gone off the pitch. And Josh just picked the ball up, turned around, whipped the ball into the top corner. And they obviously all went crazy, because obviously the goal was stood. There was nothing wrong with it. Josh shouldn't have done that if you were kicking the ball off the pitch. And in a game like that, it was both teams could have got relegated off the back of that, which ended up both getting relegated anyway. Yeah,
Who survived?
The game,
both teams got relegated.
No, I mean, who sent you down because of that? Who was above you just survived? Did someone just survive just above you on that game as well to win? Did you?
Yeah, there was a team. I'm pretty sure it was Stephen Humphreys might have scored for somebody. I don't know if he was at Southend.
Southend, it was.
I think it was.
It was
Southend.
definitely Southend.
He scored the goal and
Kept
Did he score against Sheffield United?
I don't know who.
Because they were in League One, weren't they, that season, Sheffield United?
And that kept Southend up.
Kept Southend up, and we ended up. So obviously Josh's goal counts.
Did someone else go down under you then
scored.
as well? 3 teams go down.
4 in League One.
League One's 4.
Yeah, 4. Yeah.
So I can't remember the other teams that went down, but yeah, it was a funny.
So that year you was when you were at Scunthorpe, was that the year Bolton went up? They got promoted, didn't they? Because they beat because basically
that was season before though. You went when they missed out on automatic promotion by a goal difference. I think.
By a goal difference.
So
Bolton beat Port Vale and Scunthorpe were winning. I remember Bolton were up kind of thing, but then Scunthorpe scored, dropped Bolton back down, and they were beating Port Vale. It went to the last game of the season, I think, the last 2 games of the season. Scunthorpe didn't come out. Yeah. I thought you was there the same year. I was going to say, I bet that was a bit gutting that.
Well, I was there the year. I was going to say, you remember at Burton when Albie scored them goals? He was the one who sent us down at the end. Burton.
Yeah, he did.
So we beat Sunderland on the last day of the season. We thought we were.
Of course, yeah. Nottingham Forest, wasn't it? Albie scored them 2 goals.
Scored them 2 goals.
And then a few years later,
playing with Albie, but yeah, he sent us down because I don't know how they ended up getting a result.
Great lad in Albie, like.
Brilliant guy, yeah. Really good guy, yeah. So yeah, I was seeing Albie and thinking he cost me a fortune. You did. Cost me half my wage.
So just look at the dates on that shirt, 2016. So let's just go back to these. What clubs were you at then when you represented your country here?
This was. I would have been at Rochdale then. I think I was at Rochdale then. When I made my debut, I was definitely. I was at Rochdale when I made my first debut for Northern Ireland. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it kind of spun over kind of 3 or 4 years where I was involved. But yeah, I loved being involved in the squads.
What is there a big difference between international football, like the whole organisation of it, going away with it, to club football? Is it just the same because you're just playing football? Or is it obviously
it's different because you only get like a short amount of time. You only get a couple of days training, and obviously you're travelling to all these places around the world, which was amazing. We went to places like San Marino, Azerbaijan, Germany, like places that you probably would never go to if you weren't a footballer. So yeah, experience things like that were amazing. And yeah, being involved with some of the players there at Northern Ireland was just was brilliant. Having like the likes of Stephen Davies, Johnny Evans, there's some top quality players involved as well.
And so we got your German shirt there, and that's your, was it Czech Republic?
Is it Czech Republic one? Yeah, the Czech Republic.
Debut shirt.
Yeah. No, sorry, I don't know if I bought my debut one. My debut one was against Norway. It was a World Cup qualifier. I came on for a little bit. I don't know if I brought that one. That was the Croatia one, isn't it?
Right.
That's Croatia one.
The Croatia one, yeah.
Yeah, Croatia played in that, yeah.
So who's our signatures on that? Your teammates?
Just all the teammates, yeah. So I got the squad to sign after the game. But yeah, it was a real proud moment for me and my family to be involved in that. It was brilliant, and obviously some great players. I think Mandzukic played that game.
He was an unreal player him as well, wasn't he?
As well, I think he's still playing, isn't he? Is it Inter Milan?
He's a centre half.
Midfield player. Yeah, he's really. Kramaric used to be at Leicester.
Oh yeah.
Can't think of it off the top of my head now from then.
Modric wasn't involved because it was a friendly game, but he wasn't involved.
Would have been good playing against Modric, though, wouldn't it? In midfield.
Yeah.
You would have a little battle with him.
Yeah, doing chasing shadows. I think.
Trying to find
when he rings at
game.
38, no messing that lad.
I don't think he would have tracked you over, he would have probably passed you on.
He would have been able to keep him in the box.
Don't need to, or does he? What was the German score in this particular game?
That was the
away.
Do you know what? That was the away one. We only got beat by one goal, maybe. I think it was maybe 1-0.
Where was it at that?
It was at Werder Bremen Stadium.
It's on there, yeah.
Werder Bremen Stadium?
Is that what it says on that?
Yeah, in Hanover, sorry.
Hanover, yeah.
What's it like playing there? Is it good?
Stadium was amazing. Like, really was. I remember the game. I remember that Matt Hummel's size of him. It was. I remember walking up thinking, God, he's huge. Josh McGuinness was our striker at the time. And
Josh McGuinness,
was a big fella, and he made him. Honestly, he was twice the size of him. I was looking at him thinking, goodness me, like I wouldn't like to go up against him.
Did Dion Charles play in that game?
No, he didn't. No, he never in the squad when I was there.
Was he not there then?
No, I was a little bit older than him, I think. So.
Did you play that game?
No, I didn't play. No, I was on the bench and that. Yeah.
Just being on the bench is massive, though, isn't it?
Yeah, just seeing some
up close and personal, and that.
Who was best player there for the Germany that day? He had a good one.
Which was ridiculous.
Is he ridiculous? Yeah.
So lovely on the eye just to watch him. I think he played midfield. Well, he played like tucked in from right back, where he was just dictating the game from there. He was
leader as well, him and as well.
Yeah, just so neat on the ball. So he just knew exactly what his next pass was going to be, and yeah, brilliant football player.
What they like, the German fans? What were they like?
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean, the international games are a little bit different to club games, I suppose. But yeah, it was a packed stadium. It was a qualifier, so yeah, it was definitely an atmosphere that you remember. Like,
was that the kind of best experience you had for the international wise, or
just playing? Like, I only got 3 caps in the end. I think. The players who were in my position was quite difficult to break into that team. I had like Ollie Norwood, who's there. Paddy McNair played midfield sometimes. Corey Evans, like I said, Stephen Davis was the captain. So my position was kind of
like 4-5 in the back in line.
Yeah, you knew that you weren't going to get that many opportunities, but yeah, it was a great experience being involved. And we were 1 game away from the World Cup. And I don't know if you remember the game. We played Switzerland. And the referee gave a penalty for Shaqiri kicked the ball into Corey Evans. His arm was here.
Yeah.
He kicked the ball.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And he gave a penalty. We lost 1-0.
He scored it all, didn't he?
He scored,
Shaqiri, yeah.
And we lost 1-0 over the 2 legs, I think it was.
He was a good little player, that Shaqiri, wasn't he?
Yeah, really nice.
For Switzerland, yeah.
But to lose a qualifier like that, to be 1 game away from the World Cup and lose it like that was not nice at all. Wasn't fair.
So Scunthorpe, next club after Scunthorpe.
I went back to Rochdale.
Right, so it's your second stint there under
Brian Barry Murphy, yeah. So I'd left there. I went there in January. I think it was just before COVID hit, and I started there in January, or maybe the last day of the window. And
you're not
my
getting,
first game,
you're not getting at Bolton then. Was you not
Well,
voting around then?
I asked him to come. I did actually text you, remember? And you ignored my text. You did actually ignore my text. I wasn't perfect for you, but anyway. Yeah. You probably had it was a time when you had no
team, innit?
no team. Yeah. And I think I messaged you about something.
I think you were too old.
20 started. Not the message. Well, yeah, then, but I wasn't yet. But yeah, so I ended up going back to Rochdale, and then in the first game we played Rotherham, and I scored, and we won the game 3-1. I think they were top of the league at the time, and that game actually ended up probably keeping us up because COVID hit.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And
100%.
we were going down as Tranmere.
Well, we beat Tranmere. Our last game, or my last game that I actually won for Bolton was against Tranmere.
It was,
we beat them 2-0.
Yeah, it
And
was.
they spent loads of money in the January transfer.
And arguably, it sent Tranmere down and kept Rochdale up.
Yeah.
Ali Colford scored, didn't he?
Sorry?
Did Ali Colford, where he was called
I think he
midfielder?
scored Dennis Politic. Remember his top draw?
Yeah.
It was then
So that's March 2020 then, isn't it?
Murphy.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Murphy who got one. Oh,
He got
yeah.
the second one, didn't he?
I knew it was one of the midfielders who scored. I thought it was that Ali, that
Realised
ginger
all
lad
that
that played midfield.
Yeah, Ali Crawford was decent.
Good player,
right? Back to Rochdale, like under BBM. Decent, isn't he, BBM?
Brilliant, yeah. I really enjoyed working with Brian, yeah. Really good coach. Similar, like when I say like as a coach, he was like Steve Holland, the way like his sessions and the way he approached you and the way he was with you. Very similar.
Very charming, isn't he?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, really good. I really like Brian, even like when I met him initially when I signed for Rochdale. I played with him. I was playing with Brian when I first came to Rochdale. But then when obviously went back, he was really good with me. And I had a really good, after obviously COVID hit, I had a really good season. I think I ended up being the top goal scorer from midfield in the whole of League One. But we ended up getting relegated that year. And it was just, it was a difficult, obviously with COVID and
Was that the no fan season?
It wasn't a nice.
That squad was too good to go down.
I always think about
It was though, wasn't it? I mean, we're talking about style over substance here, and I think that was a great learning curve for BBM because it was all about style, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The way that you played, you were very expansive, very open, and that squad of players, they were far too good to have gone down.
Yeah.
And I think as a manager, you get that old shit moment. I should have tried something different.
Yeah.
And you were capable of staying up, but you did get relegated that season. I found that like.
Yeah, I think we were. If you look at the squad, Ollie Rathbone, Aaron Morley, Stephen Humphreys, Owen O'Connell. You had some really good players. I just don't understand how Jake Beasley was doing really well, and
Good player.
so I think we shouldn't have got relegated, but it was just the way it was. I think COVID was a difficult time as well for everybody, but I really enjoyed my time again back there. So when I had to leave again, it was disappointing because the club was really struggling financially. And when they told me they couldn't offer me a deal, that was difficult as well. So I had to find somewhere else to go.
Did you play with Dawson then at Rochdale?
Of course, yeah.
What was he like?
He was brilliant guy. Yeah, you brought him in at the time, didn't you?
Which one? Stevie Dawson.
Stephen Dawson.
Craig Dawson.
No, not Craig Dawson. No. Stephen Dawson.
Yeah, Stephen Dawson.
You played with Stephen Dawson, though.
Stephen
Yeah.
Dawson,
Good player.
Yeah, he was.
Good watch for you, wasn't it? 2 number 8s almost.
Yeah. He tried to replace me.
Sorry?
Tried to replace me.
Did you play in the same team as him at Scunthorpe as well?
No, he'd gone to Bury and had all the problems there. I just missed him at Scunthorpe.
Do you know when you played at Salford? What was it like to be with the class of '92? What was that like?
Yeah, it was. Do you know what? I had a really good relationship with them there.
Well, you're from the same neck of the woods, aren't you?
Yeah, I see them all the time. Mickey and I literally live down the road.
Sorry, was Salford straight from Rochdale or was there
So I went from Rochdale the second time to Salford.
to Salford? That's where we are now then, yeah.
That's where, yes. So
Rochdale had to get rid of his wages. Big hit at the time.
Big bucks.
COVID.
That's why we didn't sign him at Bolton.
I got some fans saying that I left because they didn't offer me a contract that was even like I didn't think a youth team player could have like.
Was it worse than the one I offered you?
No. There you go. It wasn't for me. It wasn't. I mean, I had a really good year, and I thought they would offer me, even though with the struggles they'd had, I thought there'd have been a little bit of kind of back and forth. They were like, "This is it," and we can't offer anything. And it wasn't even worth it.
Was it the club who offered it you, or was it BBN?
It wasn't nothing to do with it. I think it was the club because they were.
So the club were the ones who started negotiating with players.
He was speaking to me because it was kind of a bit of a funny time when the club was really, really struggling. So yeah, I had a conversation, but didn't last very long.
Do you know when you were sort of did Neville used to come in the dressing room a lot? Or?
Yeah, he did not in the changing room. No, never in the changing room. He would come in every so often. It was the year I turned up. He kind of started to step away a little bit. But we did see him every so often. He'd come in and work with the defenders, not doing stuff on the pitch as such, but he would come into the changing room and he would get the defenders and do a little meeting about what we could have maybe done better. But that was maybe the last time he did that was maybe under Neil Wood, manager at the time.
How many managers did you have there? Gary Boy was good.
You have like 4, didn't you?
So Gary Bowie brought me in. I really, really loved working with him.
Was you there with Richie as well?
No, Richie, no.
Okay.
No. So Gary Bowie was there. Then we did a season with him, and he got sacked at the end of that year.
I remember, yeah.
So is he the one who reached out? Did you know him before that?
Seems a good guy.
I knew nothing.
Where did that come from then?
Terry McPhillips
Agent and
was his assistant manager. He was his assistant manager at Blackburn, and I'd spoke to you about before when he was at Crewe. He was at Crewe, so they kind of knew of me then.
Yeah.
And then I ended up signing for Salford then. But,
he phoned me as well, you know. Gary Boy.
You like reading about everything. I'm surprised I got the move there.
No, you don't underestimate it, definitely.
Well, so yeah, really, really, really enjoyed my time working with him.
So going in there I know they all had, well, I don't know them all off the top of my head, but I know they would have all had different roles and there was any of the big names involved in getting you to come on board at Salford.
The owners?
Yeah. Or was it all
when
done
I initially signed, no, it was Gary he was in control of all that. I have seen since where the owners have got involved with trying to help bring the players in. It wasn't personally, that wasn't really the thing when I was signing. But yeah, they are heavily involved, and it's changed a little bit now, I think.
Yeah, Bex is involved in it now, and he's got his money involved, I think, and so.
They've done well though, where they built it up from, where they've come from, especially from non-league. I remember you used to watch them when they were non-league as well, like when they used to play like Stalybridge and stuff, and you can just see that under that Jono and that you can just see the progression what they're doing, and they're up there and they're into playoffs, so they're doing a good job. That Carl Robinson's done a good job. Him and that Bruce, that Alex Bruce, very good. They're very good. Yeah, I watch the things what they do on YouTube weekly, and I think he's fantastic. Him, like you see comments like he's doing it for the camera. No, you can actually see he's actually that kind of manager. He's very on it with what he does there. I think he's been a massive. What is it? What's the word for it? He's been a massive thing to bring into the club and kind of put the club forward. Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, I think it's getting there. Which
he should have been promoted. Come on.
No, they should have been promoted, and I agree with that.
Graham Alexander.
They wasted a lot.
Richie Wellens, Gary Boyer.
Yeah, but I just think I said this before about the club was catching up. It was never really ready. The infrastructure wasn't there. They'd thrown a lot of money at players, and when you do that, I think if you do that, players are coming in for the wrong reasons, and it can become a little bit. If you've got players on really good money, and then you start trying to backtrack on that, and then you've got a bad mix of players, and I think that they struggled with that for a couple of years. I mean, we were close to getting promoted and got to the playoffs under Neil Wood. And that was really disappointing to lose to Stockport in that. But yeah,
I remember that game.
It's taken time, but they just needed to get it right. I think by the looks of it now, they're starting to get the right things in place.
They've got to stick with Carl, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Irrespective of whatever happens this season, if they miss out on the playoffs or they don't get automatically.
I think they will.
I do as well. I think they'll go up, mate.
Yeah.
I do personally this season, but you want that continuity as a player.
Yeah.
You know,
I think they did sack managers probably initially before I got there a little bit too soon. Like the Graham Alexander, I think got sacked when he was in the playoffs.
I think Richie did, didn't he?
Is Richie as well?
Richie,
I mean, they were on such a high from all the promotions. They were probably expecting to be top of the table, and it's not that easy once you get into League Two. It's not easy to get out of. It's not easy to get through the leagues. Once like Wrexham have done amazing to do it, but
you just got to pick the right players, haven't you, Lundy?
You've got to recruit well, haven't you?
You've got to recruit well.
You had that lad, didn't you, who plays at Coventry, that winger, striker. What was he called? Sante or something?
Brandon.
What's he like? He
Brandon,
scores goals in as well, doesn't he? He's unreal.
I didn't. Do you know what? we had so many people call about him, and the time when he obviously got his move, I think Birmingham were in for him, and he had everything. He had all the attributes, but he was probably one of the most frustrating players to play with at times, because he would try and take 5-6 players on and just shoot from an angle where you were never going to score from. And I watch him now, and he's obviously playing in the Championship at a team who's doing really well, but he's really now started to make the right choices. I think he really struggled. I think people were a bit scared to jump on him because his decision making wasn't great. But he has all the attributes: pace, power. Like he could finish when you put him 1v1, he'd score. He just
did Warren Joyce bring him in? I think it was Warren Joyce who brought him in.
I think he came through. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Warren Joyce was, I think, the youth team coach when he under-23s coach.
Yeah,
I'm sure he brought him in.
Yeah, he done really well, and he only went for maybe a couple of $100,000. I think he went.
That's all it was.
Did
he go to West Brom first?
West Brom, and
then got moved to Coventry, didn't he?
Yeah,
playing under Lampard as well, though.
Good player. Yeah, he was.
You went and then you played for Salford, and then did you go as a player coach then?
So yeah, when.
That's when you're not good enough to be a player. You just get eased into that player coach role.
the age comes with that as well, I think, doesn't it? Like,
there's a manager, like these managers who are like, they don't want to really tell a player they're not good enough anymore, or they're getting towards the end
player
of the
coach role.
Listen, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just like ease you into the player coach side.
But then, so what happened was, we did pre-season, the first couple of games, I wasn't really involved. I wasn't even getting in the squad. And the manager could tell, Carl Robinson could tell I was getting frustrated. And he actually had a conversation with me and said, do you want to leave? And I was like, no, I'm staying. Like, I don't want to leave. And then maybe a week later, he said, do you want to be a player coach? And I kind of knew what that meant. It kind of meant you're not going to be playing at all. And after that, so I basically I agreed to doing the player coach thing. So I was taking the odd session thing after training and whatever, and doing like the warm-up sort of things with some of the players and doing little things. Nothing really changed. I was training with the team as normal. But then I got back in the team, a couple of injuries or whatever, and then ended up playing 43 games last year. Oof, and scored 7 goals. So I thought I had a good season.
Yeah.
So I ended up being, for a period of the season, I was like playing every game.
Were you just picking yourself though? Or?
I was picking myself, so I was making sure. No, but I honestly, I think I played some of the best football I played last year. So yeah, it was. I actually really enjoyed my last season there. But it was strange being a player coach because it's not a nice role when you're playing and
scoring goals as well.
Yeah, and you play a coach.
Was it?
It wasn't a nice.
Was that
kind of
different with like the lads, maybe other lads in your position, because they're looking at you thinking, well, now he's the coach.
It would be easy if I wasn't playing, but because I got myself back in the team due to we had a lot of injuries, it felt a bit of an awkward situation to be in. So yeah, I didn't enjoy that tag when I was playing. It wasn't great, but usually players who get that tag are not going to play at all. But it just ended that I played quite a bit.
So what are you doing now? What's this new little business you're looking at? What are you doing?
So yeah, I just started a coaching business called Boots and Beyond Football. It's just really kind of getting going. I've only started it the last few months. We've had a couple of sessions now. Been doing small group sessions with like younger kids and just giving a little bit back to football. And I'm really enjoying my coaching side of it. And it's just something that I've always wanted to do, start my own business football wise. And it's great. I had the kids down last week and they seem to really enjoy themselves. And I think for them, having an ex-player coaching them and putting the time in for them is good for them as well.
What ages and that you may as well little plug here for it. Hopefully your parents watch it and that you want to get the kids into football.
From 6 to say 12 at the moment. I've only just started with them age groups because obviously at the moment I'm doing it on my own. So if anybody's interested, just reach out.
There you go.
Q's coming down as well, he said, so he's going to take a few sessions for me.
I'd do that, I would.
I know you would.
So there's too much pressure on now in their own kids.
Yeah.
Do you feel as though like modern day football, it's all about the end goal rather than enjoying the journey? The end goal, everybody wants academy football, everybody wants professional football. Yeah. When statistically, I think 50 out of 100 1 million.
Yeah.
I think it's 182 apparently, 1.5 million.
Yeah.
You know, academy players end up being professional football players. And you know, there's far too much pressure.
Yeah.
I see kids now falling out of love with the game when they get to 16, 18, never played again. And I think it's such a shame.
Yeah, it is.
But do you believe in the personal coach? Do you believe it's a necessary? You know,
Personal coach.
Yeah, personal coach, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's important to have. Do you mean having like a...
You know, the one-to-one scenarios, because it's something that like we always, when we were being brought up, we had a wall and a ball. We had a playing field. You know, our personal coach was the opposition. And there was less football being played, but more. You know, if you look at Johan Cruyff, he talks about when he was at Ajax, he spent an hour a week training with Ajax and 6 hours a day training with his mates on the streets. Yeah. You know, do you think those scenarios where mates on the street are playing football, do you think they're gone now?
I've just got visions of you. Remember, we used to, if we weren't involved in the game or you weren't involved in the game on a Saturday, Keith used to take you down to, in Rochdale, there was what was the place called? The indoor?
Yeah, I can't remember.
No, with all the
factory.
inside, football, with all the
Keith,
pictures
if you
in
weren't
there.
involved on the Saturday, you had to go down to the football factory on your own. Take a ball with you, just one ball. You
All the
were allowed
boards
one
and that
ball.
one,
that was the ball.
yeah.
It was freezing cold in there.
Yeah, it's colder in there than it is outside.
Big tin
And you
roof.
used to go, right, you're doing 500 keepy-ups, you're doing 500 like toe taps on the ball. And you had to do these things before you were allowed to leave. So you were studying there on your own, doing keepy-ups, doing I think Kev used to have to come down and watch and make sure you were doing the 500, didn't he?
I was going to say, surely someone were watching, because if you're on your own, you
Kev,
get off.
I think Kev Gibbons, the
Kev's
coach at
he's assistant manager now at Cardiff.
he said, go down and watch them and make sure they're doing the 500 keepy-ups, and you'd have to do that. But we were talking about, ball mastery, you had to be able to do stuff like that because you were obsessed with that, weren't you?
I just think it's got to be your best mate in the ball as you're growing up. I really do.
Yeah.
Like, I think you can learn from the opposition.
Yeah.
But I see a lot more, personal trainers. And I'm not too sure, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think, but you've got to learn from the game itself, right?
You know, I think you're right with that, but it's the thing that we do is kind of a small. I see a lot of grassroots teams have maybe 20 kids and there's maybe one coach, or the coach is kind of, and you just say, go and just do a couple of dribbles. I like it a smaller group, and I'd find it more personal for the players to be able to work in a group, and you can actually have a conversation with a kid and try and get the best out of what they're doing.
Learn a bit more, don't they, that way?
20 kids running around the age of 6 is not an easy thing to handle. And I just think it's something that me personally, when I was growing up going at Crew and stuff like that, and having somebody who like you can understand them as a coach and you can take them personally and enjoy that feedback from somebody, I think it's good.
Brilliant, it's good that.
We finish on some questions. Have you
ever had a dry off, Keith?
I'll tell you a story about Keith, yeah. So we played Plymouth away, and I'd had a really bad game. And I think we got beat. And I'm sat on the coach, I've got my headphones on, and I've got my iPad in and watching something. And Keith used to do this thing where he'd walk up and down the coach, like he'd probably have his trousers off and just have his boxers on or something. But what you do if you lost the game, you just don't get in eye contact with him. So I'm just I'm like this with my headphones on watching it. And out the corner of my eye, I could see him walking up and down, but I could see he's like looking towards me. And he's walked past me, and then he's walked alongside me, and I'm pretending just not to look at him. He's stood right there. I'm watching my iPad, and he lifts my headphones off my thing, and I look up, and he goes, "Do you want to fight?" And I looked at him, I was like, "No." He went, "Because you gave no fight today." And then he just like slapped the headphones back on my thing and just carried on walking.
Listen, there's a lot of VAT on that. I don't remember that.
I told everybody this story about him. And I was thinking, I don't want to fight with you. Like, I don't want to
I wonder
fight.
if he'd have said yes.
Well, that's what I mean. You probably.
Oh, listen, he was a good player. He played with a lot of bravery at London, and we asked our players to express themselves in a brave way. And we were overachieving, there's no question about that. And I expected our players to go out there like 10 men. You know, it was the way I was brought up. Like,
But there was a reason why you did that, because the next game, we had the thing where we would lose a game, and I always felt the next game we would win, and that came down to probably his management, where he would do something like that. And he knew with me, I needed that if I got praise, it's never good for me. It was never good for me. And he knew to say something like that would rile me up. I remember we played.
But that's not coaching. This is what we're going back to.
It's man management.
Great, man. That's great man management.
It's really good.
Well, it's not even, it's personal, isn't it?
It's great man management, but it were effective.
No, it worked for me.
Constructive.
Made you a better player, didn't it?
If any manager gave me credit in my career, my next game, I always thought I'm going to have that
Big
game.
bollocks and
But
that.
he was the only one who really understood that about me.
But I always played you the next game, though, didn't I?
Always, and that's
Always.
I knew that I was going to play. Not in a big heady way, but I
No,
knew
definitely
he
not.
trusted me. That's why I run
100%.
through a brick wall. But
And I think that's where I always tried to strike a relationship of what was built on challenging players, but trust. I challenged them as hard as I possibly could, knowing full well that scenario would be harder, potentially in training, than the game day.
yeah,
And come game day,
Breeze through it.
go on, boys.
the training
Obviously,
was as tough as like the Tuesday sessions we used to do were really, really tough. But I never felt as fit as I did when I was at Rochester. I did have a lot of injuries at the time because I broke down because my body probably wasn't used to it. But it prepared me for what I needed for the rest of my career, really. And everything else was quite easy after that, like training-wise in the week for me when I went to other clubs. But yeah, like going back to what you were saying, like when I said you'd round me up for the next game, I remember we played Bury and Flicker, your mate, was the manager, and you said to me, I think you did it in a team meeting, and you said, he said to me, oh, I had Flicker on the phone this week, and he said, Lundy, they've been targeting you because they said that you're like the player that who we think is the weak link. And you knew that would get a thingy out of me.
Get a bite,
And he used to do things like that to other players. And he did, because it was like, you've seen the Michael Jordan one where he used to look for things like that in the press where somebody would say something and he'd use that as a little bit of something for the next game. And I needed that personally myself, and I think he tapped into that really well. But yeah, stuff like that really was beneficial for me.
well, it was good, wasn't it? Because we never lost a lot of games, really, did we? At the time, right?
No.
And we was overachieving. We had that mentality. We beat the Leeds, didn't we?
Yeah, Leeds, yeah.
But you're going to paint a really bad picture of me here.
No, I'm not. No, it's the complete opposite. But
He'll have to recover himself in the next one.
Modern day coaching now, wow.
no, people need that, and I think young players need that kind of.
Do you not think football, though, like London now, modern day football, has it become a little bit predictable, a little bit boring?
Oh yeah.
Can you sit down and can you watch a full match now on TV?
It's boring, isn't it?
It's boring.
No, you
No,
can't.
it's not all boring, is it?
No.
We know it's a technical game now.
But you know what's kind of going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Predictable.
You read it, don't you?
I must admit, I watched the Barcelona Real Madrid game last weekend.
amazing, yeah.
That was amazing.
It was a good game. That
Wow.
was 3-2.
Yeah.
And that sort of revived me. I love
It's the
games.
flair, though, isn't it? And them players they play, they've never lost the trickery. In England, it's like it's been dumbed down, hasn't it? And
It's always
they'll
hyped
shoot
up
from
them
30,
games,
40
isn't it?
yards out, and
No.
you'll see all that.
Brilliant.
And
The skill level, the runability, the invading space, just taking
beating a
players
man,
on. It was absolutely
it is.
incredible.
It really is.
It was brilliant to watch. Right, I've got to get home now, one day. I've got some dinner on at home.
Thank you very much for having
That's
me.
it, no, honestly.
Guys.
Superb. It's always nice to chat to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you.
Always, my mate.
Cheers. Thank you very much, guys.
No problem.